Welcome back. A Department of Homeland Security watchdog finds the Biden-Harris administration has lost track of more than 30,000 children over the last 5 years. As of this May, 291,000 unaccompanied migrant children have not been designated for removal. Immigration officials in Boston arrested a Chinese migrant who was charged with sex crimes, including 3 counts of indecent assault and battery on a person above 14 years old. ICE Boston also arresting a Brazilian migrant who was caught and released at the Arizona border in September of 21. The migrant is charged with attempted murder, stalking, and kidnapping. Former President Trump will be at the border in Arizona tomorrow. His campaign is calling out the DNC for putting up fencing around the convention in Chicago, slamming them as hypocrites. Joining me now is Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke. He's a member of the House Appropriations and Foreign Affairs Committee and the Joint Commission on China. He's also a former Interior Secretary. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Assess the DNC for us from your standpoint.
Well, it's a disaster, like the Harris administration would be. Looking at the border, we have no border. Let's just be clear. We have no border. We have thousands of terrorists coming across our border. They've lost 32,000 children. They have no idea because we have no border, Maria. And then you pass over the DNC. What are they doing when you have Harris miles away? I mean, this tire is not going to hold air. I think it's been a disaster at the beginning. They're trying to pump up 2 candidates that are a complete and unmitigated disaster. I mean, Walz, you look at Walz, all right? Objectively, you have a defunded police state, sanctuary state that has tampons in the male bathroom. I mean, come on. It's a disaster.
So then, what do you attribute this euphoria to? I mean, to what do you attribute the polls being so tight then, if it's such a disaster?
Well, I think there is a bump. Looking at about half the country is Democrat, but the facts don't lie. In that, you look at her successes of what she's done as vice president. You look at the successes of what Walz has done in Minnesota, and it's pretty thin. It's bare coverage, basically. But I think it's a bump. But again, I don't think this tire is going to hold air.
Well, I want to talk to you about policy because Harris's campaign website is blank on any proposals. There's nothing there. But we do know some of the ideas that she's certainly backing, and that includes tax increases in Biden's budget proposal for 2025. That includes a 44.6% tax on capital gains, 44.6, plus a 25% minimum tax on anybody with over $100 million in wealth, and a 25% tax on unrealized gains. Her aides say that she's considering now new guardrails on her unoriginal no tax on tips proposal, reportedly only including workers who make $75,000 or less in the service and hospitality sectors. She wants to end the federal income tax without doing the same for the payroll tax and capping what income workers can claim on their taxes. The food industry is now pushing back on her price-fixing plan. The National Grocers Association is calling the proposal a solution in search of a problem. So your thoughts on what we've heard so far? I mean, I guess my problem with Kamala's plan so far is it's very scattered. It doesn't appear to be a cohesive plan that gives you a growth strategy, a growth plan. It's 44.6% on capital gains taxes. It's no tax on tips. It's $25,000 to help you for a down payment on a home. But what's the North Star? Where's the growth plan? Give us your assessment of what we know so far of what she'd like to do.
Well, it'd be a disaster. Taxing unrealized gains is a wealth tax. It's taxing perceived gains that you might recover. Obviously, the economics. You look at the success of the Biden-Harris administration on the economy. We have runaway inflation, although it's coming down, but it's summer, Maria. Look at the grocery cart shock. When you go in there, and a lot of people, let's have a few friends over, have some beers. You look at the price, and you go, oh my gosh, and I'm buying chicken. So the economy is rough, and it's especially rough for the middle class. So now you're going to go after unrealized gains. You're going to bring the tax code up. You're going to make the economy turn downward in a spiral. And look, we're already on the precipice, as you know, of a recession. So you're right. Her plan is just taking segments of what might sound good on a soundbite, but I'll tell you, when you open that soundbite up and understand what the damage would be to their economy and to the middle class, it is stunning.
I want to get your take on China, and we've talked a lot about Tim Walz's connections to China. I mean, look, the Republicans created a task force just to deal with China. Clearly, the behavior of our number one adversary has been on the rise and very aggressive. Chinese commentators are praising Tim Walz. They're calling him rational, pragmatic, saying that he can maintain a practical economic relationship with China. Some even wishing Walz was running for president instead of Harris. When Walz was a teacher, he praised Chinese communism, calling it a system where everyone is the same and everyone shares. His comments reported in Nebraska's Alliance Times Herald back in 1991, highlighting Walz's student exchange programs in China. Your thoughts on his connections to China and what that would result in terms of governance and in terms of the U.S.'s relationship with communist China?
Well, Maria, when China is polling for Walz, that should be an indicator. It's like Venezuela polling for Harris. In the day, you have our adversaries or enemies, in this case, polling for a candidate, and you have to ask why. Walz is a weak candidate. You look at his record: defunding the police, sanctuary cities, tampons in boy bathrooms, and I'm just getting started. No surprise that China would poll for Walz. I don't think China is polling for the United States. I think China would like the United States to falter and fail. So no surprise on that one.
What are your thoughts on the down ballot races here? How are the Republicans looking in terms of the House and the Senate come November?
Well, I think a lot of it actually starts in Montana. The House, to much degree, maintaining the majority, rests upon Montana 1. Same with the Senate race. But I think, looking at it, the House, I think, will maintain. The Republicans will maintain control of the House, not by huge margins, but maintain control. The Senate will advance. I think Montana looks pretty good. West Virginia looks pretty good overall, and the presidency looks good. But Maria, it's all about the focus, and I don't think you can find two camps that are further apart in either economy or ideology than Trump, Vance, and Harris, Walz.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's stunning,
for sure.
The difference between the candidates.
Yeah, Congressman, it's good to catch up. Thanks very much for your insights on all of that.
Great to be with you, Maria.
And to you, Ryan Zinke, joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.